Life's a circus here at Worst Bakers in America. Join the conversation. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome back to another week. It's Worst Bakers in America after show. Guys, I'm so excited to get into it tonight.
Yes.
We got cake pops, we got cream puffs, we got a special segment, news and gossip, and of course, predictions. I am joined with the lady to the left. She has a special family gingerbread recipe. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yes. So growing up, I grew up on a farm, and my grandmother would make these gingerbread cookies, and they were amazing. So if I was on this show, this would be the first thing that I want to make because she makes them so good, and she just gets the ginger just right. So yeah, it's our family little specialty that we have around the holidays.
Awesome. Thank you, Chelsie.
Thank you.
And I'm your host, Princess Carroll, and my favorite dessert, because I'm really bad at baking, is just burnt sugar cookies. That is just like the family tradition during the holidays. Mom, I love you, over in Baltimore. But
it's like an East Coast thing almost.
I have to look into that. I have to verify that. I don't know. I thought it was just a family thing, but who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? So let's get into tonight's episode. What were your overall thoughts?
I like this episode. You could definitely see the growth in each character, each person. I was bummed that Paul and then Lynette did go home because I think, overall it was really hard because it wasn't terrible. So that's why eliminating them was kind of hard. But at the same time, I think everyone did really good. And I really liked the desserts. I love the cream puffs. I love the cake pops. So it was fun. But what do you think?
I agree with you. I think from the very beginning, I just see everyone's growth from the get-go. In every episode, I feel like everyone's just taking it up a notch a little bit. I do feel like, which is natural, you're just weeding out the bad seeds or like the worst seeds because it's all worst bakers.
Yes.
But I am so proud of everyone. Lynette has grown. Paul has grown. I was shocked.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that a little later. But otherwise, I also want to say I love how the producers really play up the comedy as well.
It's so funny.
It's so funny.
Oh, gosh, yes. And they really were playing it with the clowns, too. And poor Mary Catherine, she just was not having it with those clowns at all.
Boy, well, with that being said, let's go ahead and just get into the episode. So the skill drill, they had to make cookie pops, which I didn't know that was a thing. Have you had cookie pops before?
No, I have not had cookie pops.
So it seems very similar to cake pops. I guess it's just instead of halfway done cake, it's halfway done
cookies. Interesting.
So yeah, what did you think of the challenge? Did you want to try anything?
I will say I was impressed with DeJanae's cookie pops because not only did it actually look good to eat, the judges were saying the tasting was spot on. They just kept raving about her. She's the one that had, what was her flavor again? But DeJanae's, wasn't it like the coconut? That's what I put down.
Yeah, she did. She had the coconut, which is like my jam personally.
Yes, yeah. So I thought that was really good. And I mean, the judge's faces just lit up too when they tried hers. And her sprinkles with the glitter and everything was really nice. So I thought the challenge was really good. I really think everyone did good. I mean, Paul was lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, Paul, you and your fruit.
Yes.
Him and his fruit. But yeah, frozen banana. The bananas sound good. The frozen part didn't.
Yeah. I respect the fact that he brings fruit to every episode because it's good to have fresh, natural sugar and not just the baked goods. So I'm applauding Paul for that.
Yes.
But what I'm not applauding him for is the fact that everyone else's looked more or less like the clowns. Yeah, even Mary Catherine with her fear, and I get it, I'd probably be freaked out too, but everyone's looked like their clown. But Paul's was just, I love pink, but it was a hot mess, did not look a bit like any of the clowns.
Yeah, they're like, these are pig cookie pops.
Yeah. I feel like he was just off the entire episode. Like, this was just the preview.
Exactly. That's why I was bummed that he went home because usually his creativity, I will say, has been lacking the past couple of weeks. But but it tastes really good. So that's why I didn't want him to go home, because I knew he was having a bad week, and I think because he didn't do so good in the challenge, it affected him in the rest of the episode with the cream puffs.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of Mary Catherine. She got good despite her fear, and even Chris overcame his fear.
Yes, Chris grew so much, especially with the cream puffs, because he's like, in the first week they turned out he was baking something similar, and they came out as hockey puffs is what he called them.
Yes. He's had a few mishaps.
He had a lot. So it's good though that he was like so cute. He was like counting eggs. Okay, 1 egg here, 2 eggs here. Yes, we're gonna have nothing scrambled today.
Oh my gosh, the cheesy joke.
Yes, of course, cheesy joke, Chris. But no, he did a really good job. So I was so proud of him. Even though I think he was in the bottom, he ended up coming out, going into the next episode, which is good.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say too, because that's something I've been kind of keeping my eye on throughout the episodes. I really loved Lorraine's jacket.
So cute.
They were talking about it too. I was like, everything fits her like proportionately. It's just perfect for her body.
Yeah. Well, she was a fashion model, so it makes sense.
Yeah. I'm like, how tall is she? Me and Paul both wanted
I know, Paul. And then she's like, that's irrelevant to this right now. He's like, okay.
Shot down.
God, I would say 5'9" probably. She's a tall girl.
She is. I guess I have to look up how tall Jason is too and get an idea.
Yeah, because Jason's so short compared to her.
He's a little short.
But that's one thing I love about Jason is with each episode, he just has that little accent where he's like, this is good. Or he's like, honey, sweetie, you need to work on this. But he's never cruel. Like, never. That's one thing I love about these judges, because I've seen some reality shows where the judges could be harsh on people. So I really think that they're there for them, and they want to have them be as good as they can get for Baker. So I really do like Jason and Lorraine a lot.
Yeah, I think Lorraine, she's tougher than Jason.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a softness to her. Like, you do need someone to balance it out each and every time.
Yes.
You can't always have both of them saying, you're so great, and you also can't have two people that are just really harsh.
Yes.
Especially on a show like this, where everyone's already coming in, and maybe their confidence in baking is just not there.
Yes.
So I'm such a big fan of Lorraine and Jason. I think this is a really good pair.
Yeah, me too.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about, too, was the taste challenge. The flavored cotton candy, which I thought was a really cool way to have a taste challenge.
I thought that was cool, too. Like, they all just have to get it. And Mary Catherine and her car freshener. And then again, they go with the little cheesy sideway joke. Do not ever, anyone would want to eat a car freshener. But no, I thought that was a good way to bring in the whole episode of the circus with the cotton candy. Yeah, some of the, like, what was it? The blue team did phenomenal in that. They kept getting it left and right, so I was proud of them. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't do so good with the taste challenge.
I will say, as someone who buys the tree air fresheners,
yes,
that I've never eaten an air freshener, but I got where she was coming from.
Yeah.
Once we found out what it actually was, I was like, oh, I see the connection. It makes sense. Because there is a tree air freshener that does have a similar scent. And, it's all like the same, system. So you can kind of taste it without eating the air freshener.
So if we ever have a taste testing thing, and it's like a tree similar to a car freshener, you're going to spot that on right away?
Depending on the flavor.
Depending on the flavor.
Yeah, there are so many flavors. There is one that is kind of coconutty, the yellow one, and I know because I have it.
Yeah. I got 5 of them lined up already.
You just go to the dollar store and you can buy like a whole pack for like $5.
Yes, that dollar store, yeah.
That dollar store life. But yeah, I thought they did a great job, and I'm so proud of Lynette too.
Yes, me
Getting
too.
licorice right off the bat.
Yes, I saw a huge growth in her, so that's why I was a little upset, because I know when she went home, so I know if she still continued with it, she would just get better and better, but I was really proud of her. I know she was struggling towards the end with the cream puffs, and that's what did it, but her flavor was on, which is good, because she's been struggling with her flavor for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good way to see, Lynette, we've got you. Like, we are fans, although you are no longer on the show.
Lynette, we love you. We love you. And who knows? She might be able to find her husband now. They will have good cookie pops, cream puffs maybe with good flavor now. She just got that down because she has the flavor.
Or you could also go to a restaurant and be able to identify a good cream puff / cookie pop.
Yes, and if it's licorice, girl, you got him.
Well, with that being said, Chelsie, do you have a special message for our fans?
Yes, before we move on to the next topic, again, we just want to thank you guys so much for making AfterBuzz TV the ESPN of TV talk. In order to help us grow, we ask if you could please subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a rate on iTunes, and leave us a comment. Thank you so much, Marie and Kevin, for creating AfterBuzz TV because we're able to engage with you guys as fans. And thank you so much in supporting us in what we do and what we love.
All right. Thank you, lady. All right. So let's move on to the main bake.
Yes.
The main challenge. Cream puffs.
That would be a challenge for me.
Explain.
Because the way they were making it, the way that Lorraine and Jason were doing it and describing it, saying, yeah, just when it bakes, it just has to crack just right in the middle. I was like, oh, mine would just fall apart in the oven knowing me.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I commend everyone on that show because that was a difficult main recipe to make. I think even with being like their third week there, I think that topped it up a lot. I mean, starting off with I think that should have been more of the challenge because you go from cookie pops to cream puffs where it just has to be baked just right. So
you have to up the ante.
Yeah. But yeah, and then they have to create frosting to fit in the middle with the filling. I mean, it was a lot that went into it. So really, I'm not going to be critical on a lot because knowing myself, I would be struggling with that challenge.
Yeah, so I looked it up. The pâte à choux pastry is French. It sounds French. It's spelled French. But it's a light dough used to make pastries. So similar to a biscuit, but not flat, not low.
Yeah.
It is light and fluffy, but it should be raised. So I kind of look at it as like the fancy, like, biscuit.
You know what?
Sort of. Not quite, but sort of.
The only thing when I heard about that, do you remember like these home style bakes back in the day?
Home style bake.
So you have like your biscuit, you put your chicken and everything in there, and then it has to rise up when it bakes.
Oh.
So it kind of reminded me of the cream puffs, and that's something my mom and I made when I was little. So that kind of put two and two together. But trying to make it like I remember us just looking at the oven saying, "Okay, is the biscuit gonna rise up?"
Yeah.
That would be me.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is. It kind of reminds me of the Pillsbury, like the crescent rolls in there.
Yes.
It's still light and fluffy.
Yeah.
Similar concept.
Yeah.
But with that being said, so let's go and break down everyone's fluffy pastry.
Yes.
Fluffy pastry. So the winner of the night, well, one of the winners of the night was Dejanay.
Yes.
She is just killing it every week.
She did really
and being herself
good
in the process. Yeah.
And that's what I love about her so much is that she is herself. She's like, I'm going to do this Dejanay way. I'm going to add my own flair into it. And I loved how she forgot the salt. She adds in the walnuts. And then Lorraine made a point by saying, ooh, this has really good salt. She's like, thank you. So she's killing it.
She never knew the difference. So she had orange jam and peanut butter and added that walnut to add the saltiness.
Yes.
So it ended up getting her in the top position on her team. It was good. The only critique was that it was a little too whipped. But that's pretty cool. It was a constellation theme, so it was pretty cute.
Yes.
And then the other winner for the night was Melody. What'd you think of her cream puff?
I liked it. I loved the display. I thought it was displayed really nice. And then the shattered candy glass that they put in the center of it. That was really good how she just stuck it in there because I know a couple others, it just fell apart. But her glitter and everything was really beautiful. And I know that's one thing that Jason commented on. But that sounded good too. The strawberry jam with chocolate chip. Yeah, that I would try that too. So and I'm happy that she won because she hasn't won anything yet the past couple of episodes. She's kind of just been in the middle. Like she's not doing terrible, but she's not great. So I'm really glad that she came on top too.
Yeah, it's good to have that confidence boost.
Yes.
And I think she really needed it.
Yeah.
Especially after losing in the challenge earlier.
Yes.
So it's good to have a confidence boost.
Yeah.
Our honorable mentions for tonight. So of course, we have Mary Catherine, who had strawberry and mint, which I actually like that combination. I think it's really nice and refreshing.
Me too. And hers didn't look that bad. It didn't look terrible. I know she didn't have enough time to finish. That's one thing that Jason critiqued her on. But it looked good. The filling looked really good when he cut it apart. So, with Mary Catherine, she always comes out strong, always comes out on top. So I knew when she was in the bottom one, I was like, oh, it's going to be Lynette that goes home. Unfortunately. But no, Mary Catherine is doing really good, and I give her props too, because even after the clowns were gone, she still kept checking her shoulder for the cream puffs, thinking, okay, is one of them going to pop up?
Yeah.
So, no, she did good.
Yeah, she's really consistent.
She's very consistent.
And so, to me, I'm just kind of like, I've been on quite a few of these shows, I've watched quite a few of them, and it could go either way. It could be helpful, or she could get super cocky and comfortable. It could just go either way. So we'll see how she progresses in the competition, and hopefully she picks up her pace.
Yes, because it was slow.
That would be helpful. And the other honorable mention is, of course, Chris. He had blackberry jam. What are your thoughts?
I was proud of him because they didn't turn out like Hockey Puffs. So he got the floury and the egg right. It was a little messy. But no, I think the flavoring overall looked good. I would try it. A couple of other things that he made past episodes, I wouldn't try. I was like, but this I would try. It looked good.
Yeah, I think everyone's, for the most part, except for, we'll get into Paul's, I probably would have tried. Nothing looked inedible or disgusting. So I wish that Nicole was here, because she could have given us,
I know, her critique.
Her critique.
She would have been like, okay, listen, this is what's going down. This no, this yes. That's why I was saying this episode was hard, because everyone grew so much compared to last episode. A couple others I would not try, but everyone's looked really fine, honestly.
Yeah. The only one that did not look fine, who went home, was Paul.
Yeah.
I have a question. So throughout the entire season, his mantra has just been kind of go with the flow. Just free form, no measurements. It just happens to work out. Do you think that was to his detriment and that was his demise in this episode? Yeah,
I think just because he wants to go with the flow and not go by the book, it definitely led to this. So it was going to happen sooner or later. So it's just a lesson that he needs to learn, but unfortunately cost him a spot on the show. But hopefully, he's still out there, still baking, still maybe taking measurements. But hopefully. But yeah, I would say that definitely caused him to go home. And he just kind of, he forgot a couple ingredients too. Well, with the frozen banana, they already told him don't do that. So they're trying to help him out already.
Yeah.
And then with the cream puffs, he just completely I think because he got so upset that he did bad in the challenge, he just did not focus well with the cream puffs.
Yeah, I think he was off the entire episode. I don't know if it was just something personal. That's something that happens to something we don't see on camera, because we really don't get to go into their personal lives. So maybe something happened and just threw him off. I don't know. But I really liked his theme, the thunderstorm theme.
Yes.
I thought that had it been executed properly, would have been pretty cool. I mean, it was blueberry. I like blueberry. So.
Yes, the blueberry sounded nice. And it was the frosting that he didn't have enough frosting. Yes. And I think after, he realized, I don't have enough frosting to complete this, that's when he completely went into panic mode.
Yeah.
So he just kind of, with that, just kind of problem solve a little bit, thinking, okay, how can I still make this look presentable, even though I don't have enough frosting, that I can still be here and have a spot. Yeah. But yeah, the blueberry did sound good. Yeah.
Poor Paul. We won't be able to see his curly hair.
No.
And his handsome face.
His luscious locks. I miss it. I'm going to miss it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you live in Newport, so hopefully you'll be able to cross paths on the beach somewhere.
Oh, if I see him surfing, I'll be like, Paul,
come teach me.
Come teach me your ways. I want to learn how to surf.
Oh, man. Paul, we're going to miss you.
Yes.
Our other contestant going home tonight was Lynette, which I commend her. She came a long way.
She did.
And I think she lasted longer than we honestly thought she was going to last.
Yeah, and she was more focused this episode. Of course, I always want a little segment that's called Lynette Moments, because she just...
Lynette Moments.
Lynette, with the goggles and everything, but for the most part, she was focused for the entire episode. It wasn't where she really got off track or she was like, I'm just going to do this my way. We're just going to go with it. She really wanted to try. And that's when I knew it was between her and Mary Catherine. I'm like, oh no, Lynette's going to go home.
I know. She didn't do bad. I mean, granted, what should have been cream puff did look like biscuit.
Or a hot dog.
or a hot dog roll. But they looked edible, and it was raspberry flavored, so I thought that could have been quite tasty.
Yeah.
But I think it's just at a certain point, the cream of the crop is going to rise to the top, you know? And so it's just kind of like, you're doing your best, and I applaud her for that, but at some point, you need to go home.
Yeah, because everyone is getting really good, so this is why eliminating, it could just be the littlest things, and that's why they even said, with Mary Catherine, you got to pick up your pace because you can have a good dish that tastes good, looks good, but if your time is off, that can unfortunately eliminate her too. So they're really trying to pick on every little thing now.
Man, well, we are officially down. It's the countdown. We're in the top 4 at this point. How do we get here? So we have Dejanay left, Chris left. We also have Melody and Mary Catherine. So it's a battle.
It is. It's a good top 4 though. It really is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, next week is the animal cake challenge.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes.
That looks hard. So I could see a lot of people struggling with that one. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come on top.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have our special segment. We have expectation versus reality. All right, so take us through this one.
Okay, then. So this is just a normal chocolate chip cookie. Looks simple, right? I mean, all you have to do is just look up the ingredients online. Should be simple. I made chocolate chip cookies before. But this is the reality for some folks. It looks like paw prints. It looks like their dog, ran over the dough while it was still wet, and then they just put it in the oven. I don't know.
You know what? So Lynette had a similar situation, not quite this drastic. It is quite vomit looking and disgusting. But I remember someone saying that she had, I want to say it was too much egg.
Yeah.
So it ended up being too runny.
Yes.
So I think this is a similar situation where you just have too much liquid and not enough of the actual batter that you need, and it just turned into this hot mess that we see before us. Liquid cookie.
Liquid chocolate chip cookie. At this point, I would go to Pillsbury Boy. I would be so...
If I can interrupt for a quick second, this is Josh in the booth here. You know what it kind of looks like? It kind of looks like melted cookie dough ice cream in a sense.
Yeah. That's a good point.
That redeems it.
There we
go.
go.
Look less awful.
Yeah, not less awful at all. So you could, if you were to make that, that's what I would say. Oh, I meant to do this on purpose.
Yeah, that's what we'll tell them. It might be, crunchy and weird.
I think at that point they could just freeze it to salvage it, and they could probably eat it. I mean, it kind of looks edible, maybe.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not trying it.
It's not for me. For someone else. All right. Well, next up we've got news and gossip.
News and gossip.
So what are you sharing with us, Chelsie?
All right. So for our news and gossip this week, one of the contestants, Christopher Scott, stated in an interview that he didn't realize how bad he was at baking until his young daughter suggested he go on the show. Scott stated, I definitely learned quite a bit. Chef Lorraine and Jason are phenomenal teachers, and they actually work with you and push you to think what your max is and then some. So it sounds like Christopher had a really good time on the show. We can't wait to watch him grow and see what's going to happen for the next episodes. But this is what I love, is that Lorraine and Jason are just there for these contestants. They have their back. They're giving them good feedback, and it sounds like they're really good coaches to help them bake.
Yay, Chris. Yay. Good for him. See, if you go home and you're better, you've already won.
Exactly.
Regardless of who actually won. You already won.
You already won.
You are the winner. Oh, thank you, Chelsie.
Of course.
So next up, we have predictions. Like I said earlier, we are in the final 4. How did we get here?
Yes.
Man. So at this point, Paul went home. I think that was a shocker.
Yeah.
That was a surprise.
I thought Paul would last a little bit longer. So now it's kind of thinking, gosh, anyone could go home at this point.
I know.
For my predictions, I think everyone's going to struggle a lot with this next challenge that we saw in the promo. But I think Mary Catherine is still going to be strong. She might still be the ones that come on top. And, Chris keeps getting stronger and stronger. So it will be nice to see if he makes it on top, too.
Yeah, I wrote down that Chris is determined. And that's what I love about him. He may not be the best baker of the batch, but he's determined and he's willing to work on it and learn from his previous mistakes, in previous episodes.
Yeah.
So I think that works in his favor. I don't know if he can hang just due to skill differences, but sometimes determination is what you need. Like, that just puts you on top.
Yeah, and he has his daughter,
Right.
that's going to, I think is his motivation to keep going and keep continuing. So,
Exactly.
I think them two will come up top next week.
Yeah, I mean, the other person I wanted to bring up too is Dejanay. I think that she has creativity that a lot of the other 3 contestants don't have. She thinks outside of the box. She is herself at all times.
I agree.
So I think between her creativity and Chris's determination, it could go either way.
It could, and I think she's going to have the best cake for decorations or the best theme.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
See.
Yeah, but with that being said, Chelsie, where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overocker and on Twitter at Chelsie Overocker.
And I'm Princess Carroll. You can find me on Instagram at Princess Carroll TV. It's Carroll with 2 R's and 2 L's. I'm also on Facebook at Princess Carroll. All right, thanks, guys. See you next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.